Hi guys, I welcome you to RemedialOne YouTube channel. Today we are going to look at some standard deviation, how they changes with respect to adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. Has been a couple of questions, something like this, that has been coming in the wassce questions, elective mathematics and core mathematics, that with this simple activity you don't need to memorize it, then you can able to answer the question within a minute. So here the standard deviation of a set of 10 numbers is p. So we know that the standard deviation has been given as p, and here if it is increase means add. If each of them is increased by 2, what will be the new standard deviation? So if you don't know this, you have not been taught, you'll be confused what is happening. But we know that it remains the same. So here the answer will be A. Then let's look at the second one. So here the standard deviation for this is this. And then what will be the new standard deviation for this set? So what we have to look at is 1 became 6, and then 3 became 8, and then 5 became 10. So what is happening is that they were adding 5, 5, 5. So when we add, what happened with the standard deviation is that it remains the same, from the activity. So here you don't need to do much. You have to be able to say that it's going to be the same 2.24. Let's look at this one. You see, if you have not watched my video or your teacher didn't teach you that way, most teachers will not do that because it takes time and it takes a lot of stuff to put in place. You'll be wondering. So here we have our data. It was variable. And here you have to know what is happening. There's nothing in here, so it's multiplication. So multiply. So in the multiplication, we realize that the standard deviation is also going to be multiplied by that factor. So when you multiply this, you will get that. So the answer will be here. You see, things are making it easy for you. Okay, so let's look at this last one here. This one is a little bit dicey. So here, the activity will help you, but you have to know variance and the standard deviation. So we have to know the relationship with, so when we square variance, we get standard deviation. So here, since we are looking for standard deviation, all that we have to do is we have to find a square root of that. And when we find a square root of that, we will see that you multiply this 3 and then you add, so 5. And then divide by that and bring your square root. And now you have to also go back to look at this and that here. And then the second number by this second number here. Realize that 6 became 9, so plus 3. 5 became 8, which is also plus 3. So it was being adding. And adding, we know that addition doesn't affect the standard deviation, so the standard deviation will remain like this. So C, because it will not change, it will be the same as the first data set because they have a constant addition. So we have our calculator. We're going to use the calculator to calculate the standard deviation. That will make your work also much easy. Go to the mode and go to option 3 to put it in statistics. Move away from there, see statistics over here. So we have been given a data set. We are going to calculate the standard deviation for this, and then we will add 1. We'll calculate the standard deviation. We will multiply. We will calculate the standard deviation. We will subtract, calculate the standard deviation, divide, and calculate the standard deviation, and then we can able to get what is happening, and then that will help us to answer the following questions. So you go to shift, go to option 1, and we go to option 2 to enter our data. So we have the data over here. Let's go ahead and enter them. After that, we move away with the AC. We come back to the shift, option 1, and select the variation. And this is a symbol for standard deviation. So option 3, and then equals. So that's our standard deviation for this one here. So let's go ahead and write that one out. 11.1283. All the decimals in out because we want to see what is happening. So now we are going to add 1 to these numbers, and then we will calculate the standard deviation. We add 1, so if we add 1 to 3, it's going to be 4, and then 7, 10, 22, and 34. So let's bring back our calculator. We are going to enter these numbers. Option 2. And we are going to enter 4, 7, 10, and the rest of it. Okay, so that's the new data. We move away. We go to calculate our standard deviation, option 3, and see what is happening. The same number, it didn't change. So let's go ahead and also write the standard deviation of this. So it did not change. Let's multiply each of the numbers by 2. We are multiplying each of the given, this original one, by 2. So it's going to be 6, 12, 18, 42, 66. Now let's bring back our calculator and then calculate the standard deviation. Option 2. You're going to enter this one. So 6, 12, 18, 42, 66. Now we calculate the standard deviation. So we get 22.568439. We are going to do the rest of it, but we can make a conclusion that here, when we added, it remained the same. So this here, it remained the same. When we multiply it by this, if you multiply 11 by 2, you will see that. So here, it was a multiplier. It's multiplied by the factor, okay? Up to factor means multiplication. So now we have a little idea. I will do it, but for the sake of time, we realize that when it was multiplying, it's being multiplied. When it was being added, nothing happened. It remained the same. And mathematics, most of the time, addition and subtraction also work together. So here too, if you have time, go ahead and do it. When you subtract 3 from each of it, and then you will see that this one also remained the same. And here, multiplication and division also, they are a little bit friends. They go hand to hand. Here too, when you divide each of it, you realize that this one also divide. It will divide by the factor. So here, the factor 3. Okay, so that is what the activity is all about. Now, let's jump into the questions that has come. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please subscribe, share the video. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.